So I would, yes, now we are live on a YouTube. Yes.
So good morning, everyone. May I request Namrata to kindly start?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, ma'am. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them, as rightly said by Albert Einstein. And that's why we need innovation. We depend on terrestrial ecosystems and forests as an essential source of materials, food, product ingredients, and also for livelihood. The Sustainable Development Goal 15 today, Life on Land, is all about protecting, restoring, and promoting the sustainable use of all the terrestrial ecosystems so that we can have a better future. Careful management of this essential global resource is a key feature of a sustainable develop future is the motto of sustainable development goals. With this vision, I, Namrata Agrawal, proudly welcome each one of you this morning. This initiative has created a pathway to the future we all want for all. Witty School and Sanjeevani World School have got together, Witty Gossip and Sanjeevani World School have got together in collaboration for such a noble cause. We believe our speakers are the harbingers of change. Hence, we have created such a platform for them. So, a very good morning to our eminent guests, dignitaries, principals, and dear speakers. We take pride in welcoming each one of you to the Sustainable Development Goals initiated by Witty Gossip in association with Sanjeevani World School. I am sure that today we will have a great time and will also learn a lot from young talents on this platform. We wish the speakers all the best for their presentation. I'm sure today each one of us will get beautiful insights and have something very meaningful to ponder to protect our Mother Earth. Moving ahead, the main event for this session is to showcase the insights of the speakers. I, Namrata Agrawal, once again welcome you all on behalf of Sanjeevani World School and Witty family on this wonderful event. Today's youth voice refers to the distinctive ideas, opinions, attitudes, knowledge, and actions of the young generation as a collective body. Witty International School, along with Sanjeevani World School, is privileged
Namrata, Witty Gossip.
Witty Gossip. I'm really sorry. Witty Gossip, along with Sanjeevani World School, is privileged to provide this platform for all the leaders. Let's all come together and make the most of it. Now, I would like to introduce the organizers for today's event. Sanjeevani World School is a futuristic school where everyone is encouraged and inspired to learn the skills required to succeed in a globalized arena. Backed with a team of passionate, hardworking, and dedicated individuals, the school is ready to prepare each learner for the future challenges, which will enable them to reach their goals far beyond the horizon. We aspire to empower the learners for the rapidly changing world by enabling them with the thinking skills, global preparedness, and respect for core values of patriotism, integrity, honesty, loyalty, and benevolence. We at Sanjeevani World School have a legacy to leave behind, a legacy in the form of successful students who are an asset to the world, a holistic being. We willingly embrace all the responsibilities to prepare our learners not just for exams, but also for the ever changing complex world, the uncertain future.
Thank you, Namrata. And when we talk about uncertain future, the organizations like Witty Gossip, they are the one who help us prepare them. So may I request Supriya ji, who is the mind, soul, and heart behind this wonderful organization and the Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit. Last year, we have seen people from all over the world, students from different part of the country being a part of this. So Supriya ji, I would request you to kindly give us more insight about Witty Gossip and formally welcome everyone.
So thank you, Dr. Seema Negi, for this wonderful introduction. Thank you very much. So on behalf of Vitigossip Association and on behalf of Sanjeevani World School, I, Dr. Supriya Pathak, welcome all the dignitaries present here on this beautiful and a happy morning. So, thank you very much, all of you, for joining us today. Witty Gossip Association with the aim serving intellectuals around the world to empower the world globally. We aim on the we aim on the great minds discuss ideas. So here, having the intellectual minds, having the great minds. Today, we are going to talk about the Sustainable Development Goal 15, land on earth, sorry, life on earth. So actually, the concept behind the life on earth is that we have to understand the importance of all the creatures, importance of all the plants, importance of all the species, because each and every individual is important on this earth. So, with the all permissions of the guests present here, we are going to start a fruitful discussion on the life on Earth. So, thank you very much, Dr. Seema ma'am. Thank you very much, Namrita Agrawal, for moderating and for conducting the event smoothly. Please proceed further, dear.
So thank you, Supriya ji, because when we say that EdTech industry and other organization, when they collaborate with education world, and when everybody from professional field comes together, we know that together we are preparing our children for uncertain future. Before I hand over the virtual stage to Namrata and all the MPART speakers who are sitting here today, all I would like to say is just remembered of the a proverb which most of you might be aware of. When the last tree has been cut down, the last fish caught, the last river poisoned, only then we will realize that we cannot eat money. So it is very important. Today's goal is very important. Life on land is very important. And each one of us, not just we have to deliberate about it, but yes, we need to ensure that we are preparing our children for the future, which is sustainable. And once again, thank you, Supriya ji, for such a mindful organization of these 17 days. These 17 days are not only about speaking, these 17 days are about what each one of us we are doing to make this world a better place for all of us. So once again, thank you everyone and welcome to this wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, whatever is the time in your country from where you are joining. Namrata, kindly take it forward.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Hello, everyone. Good morning once again. I would start with the introduction of Sustainable Development Goals, then go to the Goal 15, introduction of Goal 15, and then I would go to the speakers. The Sustainable Development Goals were born at United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development in Rio de Janeiro in 2012. The objective was to produce a set of universal goals that meet the urgent environmental, political, and economic challenges faced by the world. Sustainable development practices help countries to grow in ways that adapt to the challenges posed by climate change, which will in turn help to protect important natural resources for ours and future generations. In 2015, global delegations of experts developed, debated, and introduced the 17 Sustainable Development Goals to be adopted by UN and its 193 member countries. The 17 goals emerged from rigorous research into global conditions and trends. They are at the forefront of international development, conversations, initiatives, and require innovative research, collaborations to create new possibilities and a better future for the more sustainable world. In addition to the learning core academic subjects, children need to grow in other areas that are equally important in the development of an all-round individual. We do not teach only to attempt, but also to provide knowledge, centered, conducive environment and ambience in which they learn. Now, coming to the introduction of Sustainable Development Goal number 15, Life on Land, let me take you to your childhood days. If you remember, we have read a beautiful book named The Jungle Book. We all have read. There are many characters in the book. Bagheera, the Black Panther, Sher Khan, the tiger, Baloo, the bear, Kaa, the big snake. Now, my only message with the story is that if we do not take care of our terrestrial animals, of our life on land, soon these animals will be mythological characters for all of us. Human life depends on the earth as much as the ocean of our sustenance and livelihoods. Plant life provides 80% of the human diet, and we are rely on agriculture as an important economic resources. Forests cover 30% of the Earth's surface, provide vital habitats for millions of species, and important sources for clean air, water, as well as being crucial for combating climate change. Every year, 13 million hectares of forest are lost, while the persistent degradation of dry lands has led to the desertification of 3.6 billion hectares, disappropriately affecting poor countries. Urgent action must be taken to reduce the loss of natural habitats and biodiversity, which are a part of our common heritage, and support global food and water security, climate change, mitigation, adaptation, and peace and security. So today, the single biggest threat to our planet is the destruction of the habitat, and along with that, the loss of precious wildlife. We need to reach a balance where people, habitat, and wildlife can coexist. If we don't, everyone loses one day. You cannot protect the environment unless you empower people, you inform them, you help them understand these resources are on their own and are their own, and they must protect them. So today we are here together to have a deliberation on today's goal, life on land. Okay, I'm very excited, aren't you all? Now, please join me in welcoming the speakers as the session is about to begin, and without making you all wait, let us proceed for the much awaited deliberation. Now, I would like to call upon our first speaker of the day, Ms. Radhika Srinivasan ma'am from Mumbai, Maharashtra. Radhika ma'am, over to you.
Namaste, and thank you, Namrata, Dr. Seema, Dr. Supriya, for this very erudite platform, for sharing our concerns about the conditions of the earth that we are now seeing. Life on land, as Namrata explained, is critical and vital to the survival of each one of us. We are all connected by this beautiful web of life. And the web of life is involving plants, animals, birds, and all the species around us. So I'd like to share with you my presentation. Just give me a moment. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Sustainable Goal 15 presented, I'm going to try and present the goal today, the highlights, the specific targets which the United Nations has set out. As Namrata has already briefed us, this was a vision by the United Nations to take quick positive action for mitigation of all the wrongs that have been going on in the past few decades or past maybe even 100 years post industrialization. So coming to Sustainable Goal 15, life on land, if you look at the icon, it very well represents the soil, plants, birds, and animals. It's a very simplistic icon, but it says a lot. And that's what we need to appreciate, that life on land, though we may feel that it's not as important as some of the other goals, I think this is the most critical and the most vital goal that we need to strive to correct, and we need to ensure that the changes which have happened on land and in soil, we need to take quick action. Soil, though it forms just a few layers or maybe a few centimeters on the surface of the earth, it is extremely vital. And that is why we have movements all around the world now focusing on soil and ensuring that soil quality is retained. So this is going to be my session agenda for today. A quick introduction of Goal 15, the targets of Goal 15, some of the facts, and some solutions for resolving the problems. So the official wordings of Sustainable Goal 15, Life on Land, it says, protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, and halt and reverse land degradation and halt biodiversity loss. So this is such a powerful statement, such powerful wordings. Protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems. We are constantly using all the resources which nature, which land is providing us. We're using the food, we're using the fiber, we're using the materials, we're using the soil, we're using the seeds, we're using everything. But can we be sustainable in our use of these ecosystems? Can we manage our forests so that they do not turn into vast, arid lands of desert, which does not support life any further? And can we in any way halt or reverse biodiversity loss? So if you look at life on land, the forests, this is such a beautiful scene, and all of us would love to be in this place to watch nature all around us. We would love to see the plants, we would love to see the birds, we would love to see waterfalls. But if we don't take action, all of this is going to just remain like a picture postcard. And what is it that has, what is it that we need to do? What is it that we need to take corrective action? And what is it that we need to quickly educate, empower not only our students, our communities, but perhaps the whole nation and the whole world? We are in it together. I'm reminded of a statement of the chaos theory. The chaos theory says that no change is too small to bring about an impact. So the chaos theory says a butterfly, when it flaps its wings in the Amazon, could bring about a thunderstorm as far away in China or any other part of the world. So do not think that any action of ours is too small or too insignificant to make an impact. Everything that we do, every action of ours could be impactful if we are mindful of what we are doing. Making small, simple changes in our lifestyles, in the way that we deal with the resources, could help us to correct some of the wrongs that have happened in the past. So just to give you a quick, Namrata has already focused on a few of them. Around 1.6 billion people depend on forests. Forests are home to more than 80% of all terrestrial species. And between 2010 and 2015, in just a span of 5 years, we have lost 3.3 million hectares of forest areas. And many of the rural women who are completely dependent on these forests have been rendered, without any resources. They have become absolutely impoverished because of these actions. So the land degradation has reduced productivity. in the global, to the tune of somewhere around 235 billion to 577 billion. And we do not, these are all hidden costs. All the ecosystem services that we get, these are hidden. We do not know that we are going to lose it unless we are actually faced with this. Recently, Cape Town in South Africa was completely deprived of water supply a year and a half back. And, that kind of future awaits all of us if we do not take corrective action. The next very important point, which is embedded in Life on Land Goal 15, is biodiversity. So biodiversity, technically, this is a technical word which just means the number of species all around us. Every single species, it could be a bacteria, it could be birds, it could be animals, insects, birds, humans. We're all part of this huge biodiversity pool that constitutes the biosphere. And what is it that needs urgent action in the biosphere? So illicit poaching and trafficking continues to be the bane of all biodiversity, in spite of having cameras, in spite of having radio frequency collars, in spite of tracking, we are still not able to combat poaching. 8% of all animals are extinct and 22% are at the risk of extinction. The IUCN, International Union of Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, puts out a list, and they have categorized species into at-risk, vulnerable, threatened, and completely extinct. So, the ones which are completely extinct, we do not have anything to do to bring them back. But at least the ones which are threatened or which are vulnerable, we still have time to save them. Just as Namrata mentioned, that we do not want them just to be mythological creatures, and we do not want just the succeeding generations to look at the pictures in awe and wonder, what is a tiger, what is an elephant, what is a giraffe, or what is a butterfly, because we are facing mass extinction now. Fish provide about 20% of animal protein. 80% of a human diet is provided by 3 plants, and 60% by just 3: rice, maize, and wheat. So imagine if these plants go out, if they are extinct, if they become extinct, even human cultivation will not be able to support in that area. Then we are going to have 60% of our energy intake gone. 80% live in rural areas in developing countries, and they rely on the traditional things that they get from the forest. Ecosystem services like water cycle, clean air, medicines, we still have a lot that we need to be thankful for from nature. Protected areas cover 15% and 7% of the marine realm, and only they fully ecologically representative and effective of equitably managed. So we need to manage the resources equitably. The last focus area for life on land. So we've seen two right now. We've seen biodiversity. We have, and now we come to desertification. So the facts about desertification is that 30 to 35 times the rate of desertification has multiplied. 12 million hectares are lost. 75% of poor are directly affected by land degradation, and habitat loss and deterioration are largely caused by human actions. Nature has its own mechanisms to correct everything, but the minute humans enter the arena and humans try to modify the ecosystem, that's when it causes a huge imbalance. Leave it to nature. Nature will bounce back. Nature has this amazing capacity to come back and to restore, restore itself. It's only when humans intervene that it becomes very difficult. So now coming to the targets for each goal. I'm not going to read all of them. I'm just going to hover so you will be able to see. This deals with forests, wetlands, mountains, and drylands. 15.2. So the targets are like the goal broken down into smaller chunks, which is measurable, which is time bound, and on which actions can be plotted to against each of these targets. Combat desertification, ensure conservation of mountains, significant action to reduce degradation of natural habitats, promote fair and equitable sharing of benefits, take urgent action to stop poaching, introduce the impact of invasive alien species. So invasive species are those species which could be introduced either by accident or by intent from outside. And once they come into a native species, into a native ecosystem, they will completely wipe out the native ecosystem and be so powerful that they will not allow the native ecosystem to flourish. This is local planning. 15.A, mobilize and increase the financial resources. 15.B is advance the management, including conservation and reforestation. And 15C is global support for efforts. So these are all the goals. There is up from 15.1 to 15.9, and then 15.A, B, and C. This is the entire goal 15 broken down into smaller goals, which are time bound, measurable, and on which actions and strategies are plotted. So now we come to, I would really like to spend a little time here on what we can do, because all of this scenario, it seems like this is a doomsday approach. There's nothing that we can do. Development is all around us. Pollution is all around us. But no, there is, as I said, from the chaos theory, there is something that we can do. So, find a goal 15 charity, any donation. If you are not able to do something, you can donate to such organizations which support goal 15. Reduce your use of paper. Avoid printing and substitute it with electronic devices or carriers. Don't shop for pets, but adopt an animal from the pet shelter. Don't buy products which are tested on animals. Just for all the ladies here, the major cause of lab testing, the major area of lab testing is cosmetics. And any one lab animal on which cosmetics are tested has to be killed. Every lab animal which is tested in the lab cannot be released into the wild population. So please look out for that lipstick label which says not tested on animals. You're probably saving a hamster or a guinea pig or a dog or a monkey. Just for us to look beautiful, I don't think it's right that we should be sacrificing an animal. In the same vein, we have something called ahimsa silk. So ahimsa silk does not involve the killing of silkworms. I'm sure many of you would know that silkworms have to be killed in the pupa stage for the silk thread to be woven uninterrupted. And ahimsa silk they have developed a kind of a silk mechanism where even after the pupa is hatched and moves on to the next stage, the adult stage, the pupa can still be harvested for the silk threads using some different means. So I would really advocate you to look up ahimsa silk. Recycle paper, compost, clean and offer your services to clean the beaches, to clean the local parks and forests. So we are happy to be associated with an associate from UK, Mr. Luke Douglas Holmes, and our school is doing a project with him. He's actually running. He's with an NGO called Clear Public Spaces in UK. He's actually running the coast of UK, and he's just picking up garbage from the coast. He's not doing anything else. Local people, they are free to join him in many places. Local people, he hopes to be doing the entire coast of Britain. Now Britain is a small country, India is a huge country, but we can locally work out something which will definitely give an impetus to these efforts. Don't use pesticides, try and use natural substances. Volunteer with organizations, stay informed, follow your local news, and stay in touch with the global goals. Or in the social media, you might find something that you would like to do. How much time do I have?
Ma'am, I think you have a 4 minutes left.
All right, okay. So I'd just like to quickly play this message from Sir David Attenborough.
Hello, I'm David Attenborough. I'm speaking to you from my home because, like many of you, I've spent much of the last year indoors, away from friends, family, and access to the natural world. It's been a challenging few months for many of us, but the reaction to these extraordinary times has proved that when we work together, there is no limit to what we can accomplish. Today, we are experiencing environmental change as never before. And the need to take action has never been more urgent. This year, the world will gather in Glasgow for the United Nations Climate Change Conference. It's a crucial moment in our history. This could be a year for positive change, for ourselves, for our planet, and for the wonderful creatures with which we share it. A year the world could remember proudly and say, we made a difference. As we make our New Year's resolutions, let's think about what each of us could do. What positive changes could we make in our own lives? So here's to a brighter year ahead. Let's make 2021 a happy new year for all the inhabitants of our perfect planet.
So, as David Attenborough has shared, let's make our planet the perfect planet. It is and it was perfect until we decided to tamper and tinker with it. So let's take a pledge that we will do something today which will help planet and make it perfect as it always was. Thank you. That's it from me. If anyone wants to leave a feedback, I'd really request you to scan the QR code. It would lead you to a feedback page.
Sure, ma'am,
Thank you.
sure. And ma'am, this feedback page will be go with our Facebook page and LinkedIn page, ma'am.
Sure.
Sure. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. Actually, it was very, very enlightening. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you. This is my email ID. If anyone has any questions, you could write to me. I am currently working on a PhD thesis on environmental education, and this is a subject very close to my heart. So, anyone has any inputs or anything to share, I'd be happy to have your questions.
Sure, ma'am.
Thank
Sure.
you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Ma'am, could you please stop sharing? Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. So, ma'am, would you like to join your hands like this? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your wonderful participation, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very
So
much.
now,
Namaste.
Amrita Agrawal, please proceed further.
Yeah, Namrata, yes. Thank you so much, Supriya ma'am. That was very informative, Radhika ma'am. The PPT was very impactful. By putting up the facts and figures, you have really made us think that we indeed have so much to be thankful to Mother Nature. The do's and don'ts shared by you about being mindful on selecting a thing as simple as a lipstick or about silk was really very insightful. The video message by Mr. David was indeed penetrating. Nature truly has its amazing capacity to restore itself, and we have all seen it in the COVID era. Thank you once again, ma'am. The ultimate test of man's conscience may be his willingness to sacrifice something today for future generations whose words of wisdom, whose words of thanks will not be heard. You cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. The environment is where we all meet, where we all have a mutual interest. It is the one thing all of us share. Now, I would like to call upon our next speaker of the day, Dr. Sakshi Bharadwaj from Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. I hand it over to you. I handed the screen over to you, ma'am, for your deliberation. Thank you. Sakshi, ma'am, over to you. Is Sakshi, ma'am, there?
We can go ahead with the next speaker, and we can call Sakshi ma'am again later.
All right.
I can see Jyotsna ji there. We can go ahead with her.
Sure. So I would now like to call upon our next speaker of the day, Jyotsna Gururaj ma'am. She is from Bengaluru, Karnataka. Over to you, ma'am, for your deliberation. Thank you.
Namaste, greetings from India. Thank you, Mrs. Namrata Agrawal. Thank you, Dr. Supriya Pathak, and Dr. Seema Negi, ma'am, for giving me an opportunity to present my views about SDG 15. Every year, 13 million hectares of forests are lost. Land degradation has led to 3.6 million hectares of desertification or the loss of fertile land. Forests cover 30% of the earth and help reduce climate change while providing food and shelter. They are home to both diverse ecosystems as well as indigenous populations. About 1.6 billion people rely on forests for their livelihoods. Despite growing global awareness of land degradation, invasive species, poaching, and trafficking of wildlife, these factors still threaten the preservation of biodiversity and the habitats in which they and indigenous people reside. If no action is taken, 1 million plant and animal species will become extinct in the near future. I would like to quote this Sustainable Development Goal 15, which calls for urgent action to protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainable managed forests, combat desertification, and halt and reverse land degradation and halt biodiversity loss. As an educationist, I feel education is crucial to achieve Sustainable Developmental Goal 15, that is life on land. One successful way to make the SDGs accessible is through education. By bringing the goals into schools and breaking them down and having children role play them, ownership over these goals encourages the students to think upon their own solutions. During early years, learners begin to understand the existence of wild animals within specific habitats through experiential learning. This can take on the form of seeing wildlife in their natural environment or participating in school gardening activities. Respect for animals and appreciation for nature are developed. At the primary level, learners at this stage begin to understand the importance of biodiversity and the threats to it, and to habitat loss, and are exposed to the concept of endangered species. By beginning to apply systems thinking methods to understand ecosystem interdependencies, their appreciation for the need to conserve biodiversity is raised. At the secondary level, the students' understanding of the effects of land use change activities is deepened. Through detailed analysis of the environmental impact of certain activities, they become aware, explore, and support potential environmentally sustainable solutions. I would like to give few examples of learning approaches and methods for SDG 15 life on land. So these are the few examples which I am quoting. Map the local area, mark areas of various wildlife populations as well as barriers such as dispersal barriers like roads and invasive species populations. Perform a bioblitz, an annual day when the community comes together to map as many different species in their area as possible. Run a composting workshop and show organic material formation. Take an excursion to a nearby parkland for cultural purposes, example, recreation, meditation, art. Plant a wildlife garden for wild animals, example, bee-friendly flowers, insect hotels, ponds, etc. in urban areas. Celebrate Earth Day. We can celebrate Earth Day as every day as an Earth Day, and also World Environmental Day. Develop an inquiry-based project. Why is biodiversity important? So with these learning approaches, we can make aware the children or aware about our about the biodiversities which are happening in the on the land, life on land. Everyone can do their part to achieve SDG 15. So research companies that have sustainable packaging and other environmentally friendly practices, then we can ask our family and friends to start recycling and encourage everyone, or to bring their own bags when going grocery shopping. Then we don't need to shop for pets. We can visit our local animal shelter and adopt an animal there. We can voice our support to local and federal government as well. We can share how deforestation and land degradation impacts climate change and plant and wildlife diversity and others in our community, and also organize a community garden or a tree planting event and talk about why SDG 15 is important. Sustainable development encourages us to conserve and enhance our resource base by gradually changing the ways in which we develop and use technologies. The SDGs are a global effort towards a socially just and environmentally sustainable future where no one is left behind. My sincere gratitude to Dr. Supriya Pathak, Team Witty Gossip, and Dr. Seema Negi and Mrs. Namrata Agrawal for giving me an opportunity to present my views. And I also thank all the dignitaries present here for their great patience while lending their ears. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for joining us and for enlightening us with your wisdom of words, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dear ma'am, would you like to join your hands like this? Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
now,
you.
Namrata, please proceed further, dear.
Yes. Thank you so much, Supriya ma'am. Thank you, Jyotsna ma'am. That was really very informative. It was fabulous. The way you have put up all the information. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. Nobody should be left behind. The vision of Witty Gossip is to make Earth a better place to live in, and it is truly commendable. So let's make Earth a better place to live in. As we all know, unlike all other planets, for Earth, there is no planet B. It's only our Earth. So let's join our hands to save it together as the mission of Witty Gossip goes. While 15% of land is protected, biodiversity is still at risk. Nearly 7,000 species of animals and plants have been illegally traded. As also rightly said up by Radhika ma'am, wildlife trafficking not only erodes biodiversity, but creates insecurity, fuel conflicts, and feeds corruption. With this, I would now like to welcome our next speaker of the day, Dr. Arundhati Govind Hoskari. Ma'am, I hand it over the screen to you for your deliberation. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Here, I would like to request technical team, please make co-host Dr. Arundhati. Dr. Arundhati, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yeah, I am.
Yes. Okay.
A very good morning to all my colleagues, all the educators gathered around over here. I am very, very happy to share this platform today. And thanks to Dr. Seema, Dr. Supriya, and those who are comparing. So a big thank you to you before I proceed. I am Dr. Arundhati Hoskari from Mumbai, an educator for the last 37 years. And now I'm a consultant with Cambridge Schools and IB Schools, and I have headed the international institutions and IB schools and Cambridge schools for 21 years. That is a little bit brief about me. And today's topic is so very vast. I just can't tell you, it makes me, I can actually go on talking on this topic for at least 10 hours, but sorry, I don't have so much time. So I have to wrap up in 10 minutes. So without further ado, so I would like to start my presentation. Are you able to see the screen just now? Are you able to see the screen? All right. All right. So again, thank you for this Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit 2022 and Witty Gossip team. Today I have selected goal number 15, that is life on land. So let's understand what this goal 15 actually means. Like, it is to protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem, sustainably manage forests, combat desertification. Just one moment, I would like to keep my timer on so that I won't exceed. And halt and reverse land degradation and halt biodiversity loss. That's why I said this topic is very, very vast. So let me see, as much as possible I'll cover, and I will try to avoid whatever is already covered so that you get a little bit of variety. So let's come to our beautiful planet Earth, our blue planet Earth. Nature actually has been very kind and it is plentiful. It has given so much to us. If you go to see, only 25% of the Earth is land mass, but within that 25% also, we have a vast diversity of flora and fauna. If you think of animals, there are about 8.7 million species. This was reported in 2011. I don't know the current this thing. The vast majority of animals have not been identified by us. And if you go to the plants, there are about 435,000 unique land species on the earth, and 36.5 of all land plant species are exceedingly rare. This is as per report 2019. And if you look at the soil variety, we have sand, silt, and clay. These are the three main types, but their permutation and combination and their percentages leads to different varieties of soil like loamy, sand, and sandy clay, then silty clay, and then alluvial soil. So the variety is so much. Then if everything is plentiful and we all began as beautifully as I'm portraying, then what went wrong? Why are we facing situation today? Now, first, let us think about our own evolution. See, our progress has been from nomadic savages who didn't even know to cook. We ate raw plants or raw fruits or raw flesh and then survived. And today we have evolved into super refined species. Now I want everybody to reflect, are we really super refined? Then preservation on this planet is the most important thing. So let us quickly see what our legends say. Whether you talk about our Bhagavad Mahapuran, the left picture on the top shows like, Manu and Shatrupa, these were the first individuals, first humans on the earth who were given the responsibility by God to perpetuate the race and also preserve the species. Please note this point. So just like Noah's Ark, they built their own ship. Noah carried all the animals and species and seeds and everything. Same thing was done by Manu and Shatrupa. And Noah traveled with his wife and 2 sons. But, Shatrupa and Manu traveled with 7 sages who were chosen for this purpose to perpetuate human race and to preserve the entire species. But this responsibility was given to us because somewhere, nature or God, call it whatever, they must have felt that, we are capable of doing it and we are the crown of creation. Are we really the crown of creation? We need to ask ourselves. Now, did we understand this responsibility in real sense? Is planet Earth created only for humans? Yes, that has become our attitude. No. Nowhere, no religion, no culture has stated that the planet is made only for human beings. And so you thrive, you kill whomever you want, you cut the trees, whatever you want to do, you are free to do everything. The free hand was not given, but we took it on. So actually, are we responsible for this imbalance in nature? I feel to a large extent, we are responsible for whatever is happening today. So had we understood our responsibility, yes, we are the crown of creation. I don't deny that. But remember one thing, it is not just our well-developed brain that made us thrive through and, come up to this level, but it's also the art of documentation and communication. If we had no communication skills, we would be still barbarians because we documented, we did oral transmission, we evolved with the education system. So everything is responsible for whatever progress we have made today. Then if we are so intellectually capable, why are we not sensitively thinking about the things? The most important thing for whatever devastation has happened is the human greed, human avarice, always thinking about me, myself, and mine, and grabbing land. So wars were fought, whether it is a Mahabharata in India, ancient India, or whether it is Trojan War, or whether it were World War. And the last one, what is happening is Russia and the Ukraine war. I don't even want to quote the figures. In Mahabharata itself, 1.66 billion people were killed. And in Trojan War, about 100,000 people were killed. And same thing, I don't want to count the numbers, but we are only counting the humans who have lost their lives. Are we counting the animals? There were so many, horses were killed, elephants were killed. What was their sin? Because we learned to tame them, we learned to use them. Who told that they are there for our service? They have their own contribution to the nature. So human greed is responsible for wherever we have reached. And also, I'd like to talk about one thing when I'm talking about World War. Do you think that only a nuclear weapon was used for the first time in World War? No. Our Mahabharata scriptures document the use of nuclear weapon, but the language then was different. They called it Bruna Hatya Ban. It means they released a weapon in the night. It killed not just the people who were alive, but who made all the women who were carrying the fetuses abort their fetus. So that powerful it was. That is what is nuclear, this thing. Sometimes we rubbish all these stories. Okay, this is a mythology, this is a legend. No, this is a history for me. I don't want to get into that argument because that is completely different. Now, what is the current scenario? Let us try to understand. There is so much of human population explosion. Now it is more than actually 7.9 billion as per the census that is given in 2021. But as you know, so many times, many things go unreported, it will be more only. So most tropical deforestation is now, driven by the expansion of large cattle ranches and pig farms and commercial soybeans and oil plantations, timber cutting, housing, and above all everything, we keep on digging the earth for metal. We were enchanted with gold and platinum, so we started digging earth. What happens to Mother Nature? We are not bothered. So same way, depletion of all the fossil fuels. It is just endless if I want to talk about it. Then land degradation. We all know like how soil depletion is occurring because of deforestation again, and pollution, soil pollution due to all the insecticides and pesticides we are using, and soil erosion that is again happening. So another thing what we need to understand is it is not just the soil pollution. Actually, we are contaminating the food also by using lot of these things, not just the insecticides and pesticides, but these days all the hormones like oxytocins and everything are used. Have you ever seen a bottle gourd which measures in meters? Go to USA, you will find it. And it is, if it happens once in a while, we can say it's a genetic mutation. No, it is not. Even in northern part of India, radishes are about 4 feet, 3 feet long. So they are using oxytocin, and we are consuming that food, and again entire health is going to toss. So lifestyle diseases have become common. See, what are we doing to the earth? Then then naturally there is a imbalance of ecosystems. So what leads to it is, again, whatever harm we are trying to cause to nature, it is coming back to us. I just spoke about the wars, but just think about it. Now we have reached the superior level of wars. Now biological wars have started now. Just release a virus or just release a this, and then I mean, what are we going to achieve? I really don't understand. This is a complete devastation of life on land. Then desertification, then ozone layer depletion, the number of vehicles what we are using and the kind of industrial gases that are released in the air, they are depleting the ozone layer. So you know what is going to happen when the ozone layer is depleted. That is why diseases like cancer and all have become so common. Lifestyle diseases like diabetes and blood pressure, people don't even bother if you say I have a diabetes, I have blood pressure, because it's so common. Earlier it used to hit 65 plus people. Now then it became 40. Now even young boys and girls like 25 plus, 30 plus are suffering from this. So what are we achieving? So this is all again misusing our resources and not handling our life well. Then glaciers are melting and you can see the temperature changes. And in Mumbai, when the temperature went to 26, 27, about 40, 50 years back, we used to say, oh my God, 26, 27 and 28, and this is too hot. Today, 35 degrees. Okay, because we all have ACs at home, right? It's okay. I mean, 35, 38. So that is the temperature shift. So I mean, even like, carbon effluent. So there is a lot to discuss over here. So ultimately what it is leading to is, it is leading to loss of biodiversity. Now, I would like to read a very cute, lines which I picked up from this source. I am Life Earth. So I'd like to read this for you. I am the earth. I have thousands of faces and colors. I'm black, brown. Can you please unmute? Somebody is talking.
Haji?
Somebody is talking. Please unmute. I am the earth. I have thousands of faces and colors. I'm black, brown, yellow, white, red, and gold. When I get angry, I'm the color of fire. Sometimes I'm hard, sometimes I'm fragile. In the desert, I become infinite. I kiss the sky when I become a mountain. I'm a nomad, an explorer, a traveler. Sometimes I want to escape, so I become dust to dance with the winds. With human beings, I have a special relationship. Your children come to meet me for their first steps. Your elders come to me for a long and peaceful sleep. I offer you flowers, plants, trees, and delicious fruits. I wish we could have that beautiful relationship again. I am the earth. Isn't it a very beautiful? And this really touched my heart, and I'm sure, and you would also like. I don't want to bite on others' time, but quickly, I have 2 more slides left. So what is our responsibility as educators? I don't want to discuss earlier, like, I mean, Ms. Radhika and Ms. Jyotsna have covered it beautifully. All other things, I'm not going to go over it again. So first thing, what I feel is we have to teach our children tolerance. Because we are intolerant today, everything is getting messed up. Because we just don't want to go through any of the discomfort. Even to this extent, if I don't get along with some person, like, most of the people, they try to poison others. So why do you want others' lenses to view the world? Let us view, let us explore. But if a person is not good to you, it's okay. I mean, she may be best for everybody else. So this is how we make our children also intolerant. It's not just preaching them. We have to exemplify so that they can emulate our behavior. We have to teach them concern for Mother Earth. And the another quality is compassion. So beautifully about the lipstick, Radhika spoke. I really liked it. And I wanted to talk, but now I'm not going to include it. So we need to learn to be compassionate and treat that they're all coexisting with us, all the animals, all the plants. We are with them. We have to coexist. Earth is not made only for human beings. And that is where we have to teach them live and let live principle and live and let live attitude. And another thing is emotional management. I lay a lot of stress on. If you want to preserve Earth, if you want to improve the life on land, you have to teach our children emotional management so that when they grow, let them use their discretion, let them be compassionate, let them be tolerant, let them follow universal brotherhood. It's not about my family, my country. No, we are all together. See, human blood is red in any country, anywhere. So we are all bound by that red blood at least. So in general, we have to teach our children to respect life. So sharing is caring. Sharing is caring should not just become a pre-primary slogan. It has to be ingrained in the adults. You share your knowledge, share your thoughts, share your compassion. So sharing is caring. So let us remember, we are here to heal, not to harm the earth. We are here to love, not to hate. We are here to create, not to destroy. What beautiful lines by A.D. Williams. So thank you very much. This is Dr. Arundhati Hoskeri signing off. Thanks a lot. God bless.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us and for enlightening us about our ancient traditions and the evolution of the earth. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. So, ma'am, please stop sharing so that I can capture you.
I have.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. I am giving you a spotlight. Would you like to do this, ma'am?
Yes, I will.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Now, Amrita, please proceed further. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Supriya ma'am. Thank you, Arundhati Hoskeri ma'am from Mumbai. That was awesome, ma'am, Arundhati ma'am. The way you have connected with what is happening all around us with a beautiful poem by personifying Earth, expressing its feelings. The Earth is what we have all in common. Then yes, as ma'am said, what went wrong? We really need to ask ourselves that are we the super refined species with endangered animals, deforestation, barren lands with almost extinct resources? One of the motives of studying history is that it gives us knowledge as to what the mistakes should not be repeated. But after knowing about the Mahabharata, we are repeating the same masquerade of nuclear weapons. As is also rightly put up by Robert Swan, the greatest threat to our earth is the belief that someone else will save it. With this, I would now like to call upon our next speaker of the day, Dr. Janvi Chandwani from SDPS Group of Institutions. Dr. Janvi ma'am, I now hand over the screen to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Namrata ji. Thank you, Namrata Agrawal. Namaste and thanks for this beautiful opportunity to justice this topic live online. A very good morning, one and all present here. I would like to thank Namrata Agrawal, Seema ji, Supriya, Gunjan ma'am. We're all the beautiful day start with this summit. I would like to convey that as we all know, the way or the other, we at Indore contributing in the sustainability development goals, as Indore won the crown of cleanest city 5 times. Now we are gonna win 6 times that hum lagayenge swachhata ka chakka. So coming to the topic, now I would like to go ahead with the topic. Just as our vision behind Agenda 2030 is lofty, our goals are comprehensive. It gives priority to the problems that have endured through the past decades, and it reflects our evolving understanding of social, economic, and environmental linkages. Now, that define our lives, the sustainable development of 1/6 of humanity will be a part of great consequence to the world and our beautiful planet. The Sustainable Development Goals. We are at the brink of global transformation. The international community through the United Nations has set in motion and started plans 17 sustainable development goals that aims to build a more prosperous, more equal, and more secure world by the year 2030. Protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial economies, ecosystems, sustainability, and manage forests, combat desertification, and halt and reverse land degradation, and halt biodiversity loss. Find out more, protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems. So, flourishing life on land is the foundation of our life on this planet. We are all part of the planet's ecosystem, and we have caused severe damage to it through deforestation, loss of natural habitats, and land degradation. Promoting a sustainable use of our ecosystems and preserving biodiversity is not a cause, it is the key to our own survival. So the targets that we are going to go ahead are everyone can help to make sure that we meet the global goals. Use these 12 targets to create action to protect and restore life on land. Targets for goal 15. By 2020, ensure the conservation, restoration, and sustainable use of terrestrial and inland fresh water ecosystems and the services, in particular forests, wetlands, mountains, and drylands. In line with obligations under international agreements, by 2020, promote the implementation of sustainable management of all types of forests, halt deforestation, restore degraded forests, and sustainability increase afforestation and reforestation globally. So coming to the 2020, by 2020 combat desertification, restore degraded land and soil, including land affected by desertification, drought, and floods, and strive to achieve a land degradation neutral world. By 2020, ensure the conservation of mountain ecosystems, including their biodiversity, in order to enhance their capacity to provide benefits that are essential for sustainable development. So we have to take urgent and significant action to reduce the degradation of natural habitats, halt the loss of biodiversity, and by 2020, protect and prevent the extinction of threatened species. Take urgent action and poaching and trafficking of protected species of flora and fauna, and address both demand and supply of illegal wildlife products by 2020. Introduce measures to prevent the introduction of significantly reduce the impact of invasive alien species on the land and water ecosystems, and control or eradicate the priority species. By 2020, integrate ecosystem and biodiversity values into national and local planning development processes. So, coming to the point that we are going to work on this sustainable goals. Mobilize and significantly increase financial resources from all the sources to conserve and sustainably use biodiversity and ecosystems. Mobilize significant resources from all the sources and at all levels to finance sustainable forest management and provide adequate incentives to developing countries to advance such management, including for conservation and reforestation, enhance the global support for efforts to combat poaching and trafficking of protected species, including the increasing the capacity of local communities to pursue sustainable livelihood opportunities. I want to go ahead with the second slide. Life on land, why it matters. What is the goal here? To sustainably manage forest, combat desertification, halt and reverse land degradation, and halt biodiversity as biodiversity loss, as we have been working on. Why? Forests cover nearly 31% of our planet's land area, from the air we breathe to the water we drink to the food we eat. Forests sustain us. Think about it. Around 1.6 billion people depend on forests for their livelihood. Almost 75% of the world's poor are affected directly by land degradation. Did you know that forests are home to more than 18% of all terrestrial species of animals, plants, and insects? And of the 8,300 animal breeds known, 8% are extinct and 22% are at risk of extinction. Biodiversity and ecosystem services it underpins can also be a basis of climate change. We have been discussing on life on land around 1.6 billion people depend on forests for their livelihood. So adaptation and disaster risk reduction strategies, as they all can deliver benefits that will increase the resilience of people to the impacts of climate change. Forests and nature are also important for recreation, so and mental well-being. In many cultures, natural landscapes are closely linked to the spiritual values, religious beliefs, and traditional teachings. So, what would it cost to correct the problem? The UN Forum on Forest Secretariat estimates that achieving sustainable forest management on a scale would cost 70 to 160 billion per year. The Convention on the Biological Diversity estimates that 150 to 440 billion per year is required to halt the loss of biodiversity at a global level by the middle of the century. So coming to the next slide. Sustainable Development Goal 15 is concerned to protect and manage Earth's resources. First, achieving sustainable use. Next, addressing problems of equity and intergenerational. Dealing with problems of the common effects of the climate change. SDG goals 15. Going ahead to the next point. Protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems. Sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, halt and reverse land degradation, biodiversity loss. Why is Sustainable Development Goal 15 is important? As we have been discussing, as I shared the platform with Arundhati ji and all the other speakers. So we have been discussing on this SDG 15. Why it is important? The global population is growing, but our ability to sustain it is eroding. We are continuing to lose biodiversity at unprecedented rates, and within the services natural systems provide us. We are faced with a problem of the commons and must find pathways to cooperation in preserving our environment. We can see the projected graph of 1950 to 2050 that is representing the renewable water resources. As we can see, dealing with water resources. And coming to the global forest cover is changing. So coverage of forest in the whole world we can see, as we have discussed. Next, what would it cost if we don't correct the problem? Today we are discussing the problem, but we have to come up with a solution. So, biodiversity delivers multiple services from local to global level. And all the countries have been working on these sustainable goals, provide responses to biodiversity loss range from emotional to utilitarian, for instance, insects and other human carriers are restorated. Went to the next slide as 200 billion per year to the global economy, 3/4 of the top ranking global prescription drugs contain components derived from plant extracts, which would be threatened. Natural disasters caused by ecosystems disrupted by human impact and climate change already cause the world more 300 billion per year. Deforestation and forest degradation results in loss of habitat for all the species, and decrease in freshwater quality and increase in soil erosion, as we have been facing a lot while COVID also. Land degradation and higher emissions of carbon into the atmosphere. In short, not taking action on forests impacts both the health of the planet and our communities. So what is the solution? What can we do?
Dr. Janvi, sorry to disturb you, but actually you are very exceeding with the time limits, ma'am.
Okay, no issues. So
Yes,
we would
because the
like
other
to,
speakers are in a queue and they are waiting, ma'am.
okay. So
Yes.
we change the ecosystems, we are a part of our presence, but we can make choices that either affirm diversity or devaluate. So coming to I would like to sum up this presentation. I'm grateful to thank you so much, all of you. I'm grateful to Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit 2022. Thanks to Witty Gossip and all the associations and all present here, and Gunjan ma'am for making me a part of this summit. Lastly, I would like to convey the message that I felt my lungs inflate with an onrush of scenery air, mountains, trees, people. I thought this is what it is to be happy. So be happy with our planet, with the beautiful home. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm giving you a spotlight for the signature sign, ma'am. Yes. Okay. So, ma'am, would you like to do this? Ma'am, some upside. Like this, ma'am. Like this.
Yes, right?
Ma'am, like this. Not like this. Like this.
See you actually.
Yeah. Ma'am, like this. Like this. Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us. Thank you. So now actually we are going to take the students round first because they have the problem with the training data. So Dr. Parul Sharda, are you ready?
That was
Uh,
that was really very nice, Janvi ma'am. As rightly said by you, discussions are important, deliberations are important, addressing these issues are important. It's high time we discuss and sow the positive seeds in the minds of our children and the youth and give them a global picture. We cannot keep the ostrich approach and think that no one is watching. Each one of us have to hold responsibility, take charge, and educate our children. Thank you for sharing your insights with us. We now have to make choices. It's an urgent call to everyone to take action and spread awareness. I now hand it over to the person behind this visionary mission, Dr. Supriya Pathak ma'am, representing Witty Gossip. Dr. Supriya Pathak ma'am is a driving force who has taken up sustainable development goals as a mission and is constantly working to create awareness among the youth. I now hand it over to you, ma'am, to welcome the international dignitaries also present here for presenting their deliberations and students and their perceptions on today's goal. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Namrita, for the beautiful conduction of this program. Thank you very much, dear. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Seema Negi. Now, I would like to call Dr. Parul Sharda to present with your students. Meanwhile, I would like to request Dr. Seema Negi and Namrita Agrawal, ma'am, for doing the signatures, clicking pictures. So, Dr. Namrita Agrawal, I am giving you a spotlight. Just hold on. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, dear Dr. Namrita. Thank you. Now, I would like to request Dr. Seema Negi, ma'am. Dr. Seema Negi, are you available for clicking the pictures? I think there is a problem. Meanwhile, Namrita, please coordinate with the Dr. Seema Negi, ma'am. Okay.
Sure, ma'am. I will do that.
Yeah. So, Dr. Parul Sharda, are you ready? Dr. Parul Sharda?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, two of my students are ready. Vaishnavi
Okay.
Birla and Shilpa Dati.
Okay, okay, ma'am. So, yeah, Vaishnavi Birla is a co-host now. So, can we start with Vaishnavi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes. So, Vaishnavi, now the whole stage is your, dear. Please proceed.
Hello, good morning. I'm a teacher and I'm a student and respected all the members of United Nations Sustainable Development Program. I am Vaishnavi Birla from Indore Management Institute and I am pursuing BBA from Indore Management Institute, currently India. So let's start Life on Land mission. Protect Life on Land mission. Protect, restore, and promote sustainable uses of terrestrial ecosystem and sustainably manage forest, combat desertification and have and reverse land
या फिर आप इनको अमाउंट मैसेज कर दीजिए reduce
So
5,000
first, what is global goal
27th
land
of May
15
का
about? Firstly, it aims to protect and restore all life on land. This includes protecting ecosystem and like forest and terrestrial rivers, stopping desertification caused by droughts and preventing the loss of plants and animal species like known as biodiversity. So firstly, if you have in the past of 50 years, 60% of all wildlife has been lost. This is a threat to all of is, but together we can find a way we can find a way to protect and restore the life on land. There are already some land. There are brilliant solutions out there. Out of we need more. Some of the steps like life on land to preserve the protect and restore in nature, protect and restore nature, and use more sustainable environment. Then third is protect and ensure conservation be mountains ecosystem. Then first forest. Life on land is extraordinary. Our forests are home to more than 80% of all terrestrial species of animals, plants, and insects, and around 1.6 million people depend on forests for their livelihood. Then desertification 2.6 billion people depends on agriculture, but 52% of the land are used for agriculture. 52% of land on the use for agriculture and 52% of land used of moderately or severely affected by soil degradation and due to drought and desertification. Each year 12 million hectares are lost, 23 hectares per minute. Then biodiversity out of 8,300 animals breeds human known as 8% are extinct. 22% are at a risk of extinction of the over 80,000 trees, and species less than 1% then had been studied of from potential use. Then next, how one can help life on land. So life on land, first step is reduce your use of paper, avoid printing and substitute it with electronic devices and carriers. Cleaning forests and even sustain the ecosystem. Then third, nature-based climate solutions can contribute a third of CO2 reduction by 2030. Then fourth process, the value of ecosystem. The value of ecosystem, the human livelihoods and well-being is reduction by 2000. Reduction well-being is US 125 by trillion per year. Then properly conserving and securing mountains can provide 60 to 80% of fresh water. Thank you, ma'am, and all the members of United Nations Development Program.
Thank you, dear. Would you like to do this?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Ma'am,
you very
this
much.
step?
Dear,
Thank you,
do
ma'am.
some upside. Okay. Yes,
Okay, ma'am.
yes. Perfect. Thank you, dear. Thank you very much. Thank you
Thank you,
very much
ma'am.
for your wonderful speech, dear. It's a very enlightened. Thank you. So,
Thank you,
Dr.
ma'am.
Seema
Thank you
Negi,
so
now
much.
you are available. Yeah, thank you, dear. Thank you very much. So, Dr. Seema Negi, now you are available. So, would you like to do
I'll do
the
this.
signature sign?
Practically,
Yes.
I'll do this tomorrow because I am the speaker for tomorrow, but still I'm doing it
Yes.
today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, dear ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, Dr. Parul Shada, can we invite other students also?
Yes, ma'am. Shilpa is the
Yes.
next speaker for today, ma'am.
Okay.
From my end, yes.
So, Shilpa, yes. Shilpa, you are a co-host now. Please proceed, Shilpa.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Eminent teachers and eminent students. I am Shilpa Date from Indore Management Institute. Currently, I am pursuing BBA from Indore Management Institute. So let's start. What's the goal here? To sustainable manage forest, combat deforestation, halve and land degradation, and halve biodiversity loss. What's the goal? Changed terrestrial, economic, and through all aspects of human life, with plant providing 80% of our diet and land providing a range of crucial function known as economic services. However, human inflection drives such as pollution, climate exchange, invoice species, overexploitation, and land us change our unexpected shift and in may cause degradation of terrestrial economic system. Next one is biodiversity. The number, variety and variability of living organism in an ecosystem has scientific and economic value. However, both natural biodiversity and genetic diversity of crop and livestock are in sheer delight, with up to 30 of manual birds and amphibia species at risk of extinction due to human drives. Well, man new medicine are now providing synthetically the industrial state on wild genetic resources. 20% of all providing the over the 30 years to 2010, where either natural provide our weird diversity from a nature products genetic drive diversity in agriculture in key to resolve again risk such as thoughts as wild varies of crop and risks, and may providing general state which are more hardened and actually to case of crop failure. Next is forest and biodiversity ecosystem, which united habit for over 40 for 15 for all terrestrial space, as well as being source of clean air and water. As estimate 1.6 billion people depend on forests for the livelihood. Yet deforestation profit after miss out location communication to the most significant drive from deforestation is agriculture, in particular land and feed, crop of for and commodity crop, in particular soil, palm oil, rice, and sugar cane, individual of biosphere. Legally, logically has environment with forest fairly common and of rate space both through loss of habits and thought for teaching. Thank you for giving me chance for speaking.
Thank you very much, Shilpa. Thank you very much for your wonderful speech. Yes. So, would you like to do this?
Just 1 minute.
Thank you, dear. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So, Laura, would you like to say something about the goal 15?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Yes,
Hello,
actually.
dear. How are you? And actually, your enthusiasm makes me very happy, makes me more energetic. Thank you, dear, for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me every time. So what I wish to say is that the Earth is the only planet we've got, and that's why it is very important to save it. I had a message from my students, if I can share it. So what is really important is to save life on land, because every creature that forms that is here on our planet is important. So SDG, life on land, means to protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, and halt and reverse land degradation, and stop biodiversity loss. Because our planet is important. Trees are important, they give us oxygen. Every animal is important. Bees are important, because without them, we wouldn't be able to have fruit. We wouldn't be able to live on this planet without bees. Every animal depends on each other. They all depend on plants, and so do we. This is a poem made by one of my students. We have a beautiful planet, beautiful, full of life. It's made up of everything we need, and it's our home. We have many beautiful flowers growing on this earth. Why not let them bloom? Why destroy them? Let's protect nature. Be it an animal, a plant, or an insect, because nothing is more sacred than our entire earth. The world is becoming colorless. Everything is in motion. Going on a one-way road, slowly our planet dies. Thus, man, with your own hand, you destroy everything you love and everything that loves you. Choose your actions carefully, and together, let's save our precious planet. And this is a message from one of my students.
Hi guys, I'm Lavinia. Fun fact, did you know that there's no plan B as there's no planet B? We must energize Planet for action to make the one planet we have safe and productive for future generations, with a healthier environment, not loss, with higher, not lower standards for living. All over the world, No Planet B is an increasingly hard call for action. So pay attention because this planet is the only home we have. And this is our chance to save it. So be more responsible.
So it's up to all of us to save Mother Earth, to save all life on land, everything that lives and breathes on this beautiful planet. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. Means it's amazing. It's really amazing. And I would like to request Laura, please send this video message of your student on our official email ID, that is info@wittygossip.com. So definitely we will promote these video messages on our social media so that people get motivated and people get inspired to save our Mother Earth. Thank you, dear. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. Now we have a student of the Expressions English, Srishti Verma. So, Srishti, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, dear. Yes. Okay.
Just a minute, ma'am. First of all of good afternoon and good evening, good morning. I am Srishti Verma. I am studying in 11th class from Expressions. I would present my speech first word to start today's goal. Today's goal 15. Today's goal 15. Life on land. 15.1 by 2020 ensure to conservation, restoration and sustainable use of terrestrial and inland freshwater ecosystem and their services, in particular forests, waterland, mountain and dry lands, in line with obligation under international agreement. By 15.2, 2021 promoted the implementation of sustainable management of all types of forests, health, deforestation, restore degraded forests and sustainability, increase afforestation and reforestation globally. By 15.3, 2030 combat desertification, restore degraded hand and soil, including land affected by desertification, drought and fruit, and issue to achieve a land degradation neutral world. By 15.4 to 2030, ensure the conservation of mountain ecosystem, including their biodiversity, in order to enhance their capacity to provide benefits that are essential for sustainable development. By 15.5, take urgent and significant action to reduce the degradation of a natural habitat, halt the loss of biodiversity, and by 2020 protect and prevent the extinction of threatened species. 15.6, enhance global support for effort to combat poaching and trafficking of protected species, including by increase the capacity of local communities to process sustainable livelihood opportunities. So thank you, ma'am, for giving me a very big opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, dear Srishti. Thank you very much. And we are very grateful, we are very thankful that each and every day you are available to join and to listen all the guest speakers. Thank you, dear. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
So,
Thank you,
dear, would you like to do this?
okay, ma'am.
Amazing. Thank you, dear. Thank you very much. And I will post, I will, my team, with my team, I will post your picture on social media. So don't forget to share it. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you
Okay,
all of
dear.
guest honors for listening me.
Thank you, dear. Now, Tiana Jonas with us from the land of USA. So, Tiana, would you like to say something about saving our Mother Earth?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, dear Tiana, please proceed.
Thank you to all the speakers that went before me. You guys have all been amazing and had amazing hearts. So this has been a remarkable experience for me. Thank you to Whitney. Thank you to Witty Gossip, and thank you to Laura. That was an amazing presentation. Her students have been able to share their love for the earth. So thank you guys for all of that, and everyone else. Thank you. So life on land. Life on land is remarkable because there's life all over the land. There's life that has been created through God everywhere. Life from the trees, life from humanity, and life from every animal and aspect that has been considered. Thank you guys for having me. And I understand that the most important thing now is sharing the knowledge here and letting people know how to save life and how to appreciate life and how to unite our lives together, because all lives do exist on land and all life does matter here. And together we can acknowledge what God is telling us to make sure that we are helping one another with the information from this platform. Life is beautiful. Life is loving. Life is kind. Life is compassionate. Life is memorable. Life does exist in us and around us. Life is everything that we always wanted and always dreamed of, and life can be made how you want it. You all have the unique technology of understanding skills and your purpose of having life. Everyone has a gift of life given by God. Everyone has an aspect of life taught by others in humanity. Everyone has a chance to express their life and live a good life. So life on land is in an existence, and there's much intelligence on this land of life. This life is beautiful. Our lives are beautiful together, and we should always take care of one another in humanity, showing life as it is formed to be from God. Thank you, and I hope you all have an amazing life.
Thank you, dear. Would you like to do this? Amazing, amazing, dear. Amazing, amazing, amazing. That was amazing. So, dear, first of all, on behalf of Witty Gossip Association, on behalf of Sanjeevani World School, I, Dr. Supriya Pathak, says that yes, we are very humble, we are very honored to have you in this global platform, dear. Thank you very much for all your support, for all your kindness. Thank you, dear. Thank you, dear. Now we have a Haripriya Sahu ma'am from the Imperial College. So Haripriya Sahu ma'am, would you like to say something? I am requesting technical team, please make co-host Haripriya Sahu ma'am. I am requesting again to technical team, please make co-host Haripriya Sahu ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you are a co-host now. So, ma'am, would you like to share your experience about the Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit?
Sure, ma'am. First of all, namaste and good morning to everyone. Today's goal, if I would talk about today's goal, it is truly said from one of the student, which Laura ma'am was actually sharing, that there is no planet B and we don't have any plan B for it. So this is the only place we all have to live together, and definitely we all need to think that what we can do as an individual person, what could be our our potential, whatever we can do, that we should do to save this Mother Earth. And uh, from the past few sessions, I was unable to attend few of the sessions, but I was regularly watching everything in the YouTube, also the links that had been shared. And I have been seeing the students have been sharing their views so amazingly. It shows their knowledge, their creativity in this. And once again, thank a lot to Viti Gossip and Supriya ma'am that they are giving this chance to students who are from class 7th, 8th, 9th students, and to everyone to represent their views in this global platform. And we are grateful that Imperial College has also got this chance to be a part of this. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Haripriya Sahu ma'am, for your wonderful participation. Your participation is so much energetic and it is full of enthusiasm, ma'am. Thank you, and your
Thank you
students
so
are
much.
amazing. Thank you, dear ma'am. Thank you very much. So, dear madam, would you like to do this again? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. So I think now we have done with all the speakers. So thank you very much, all the speakers, all the dignitaries present here. Thank you all, dear students, to present your views, to present your thoughts. Thank you very much, Laura, for the beautiful video message of your student. Thank you, Tiana, for your wonderful speech. Thank you, Namrita, for your wonderful moderation. Thank you, Dr. Seema Negi. Thank you, Sanjeevani World School. Thank you, Christiana. You are great, really great, Christiana. Because just seeing your face, just when I see that you have logged in the meeting, so I feel very energetic. So thank you, Christiana. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Dr. Arundhati. Thank you, Dr. Janvi. Thank you, Dr. Parul Sharda. Your students are really amazing. Your students every time with the full of energy, with the full of enthusiasm, ready to represent the goals of the sustainable development. Here we have a Siddharth Shukla, no, sorry, Siddharth Charasia. So I would like to request technical team, please give the chance to Siddharth Charasia. Actually, this young mind is with us from the last 15 days. And each day, every day, he wants to speak, he wants to share his views. So I would like to request technical team, please make co-host Siddharth. Siddharth, you are a co-host now. So please share your views.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning to everyone. I am speaking on Land on Life, that our world is home to countless life forms, from the giant cicola trees of California to the humble bumblebee. And it's important that we protect their diverse ecosystem so that future generation can benefit from their natural gifts, just like us. Life has thrived on Earth for millions of years because in a healthy and a diverse ecosystem, all the different kinds of living things take care of each other. Trees tries to grow tall so that they have the best chance of soaking up the sun's rays. But ecosystem can easily be destructed. For example, a logging company clears the piece of land to sell the trees to furniture makers for profit. The countless life forms previously lived in them for safety and food are left without a safe environment in which they live. But good people everywhere are working hard to safeguard life on land. They are planting, they are protecting animals. They are planting millions of trees. And also, we all have to plant trees and protect all animals. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Siddharth, for your short, crisp, and a wonderful speech. Thank you, dear Siddharth. Thank you very much. So now we have done with the all speakers. Thank you very much, Christiana, for your messaging. Siddharth, means we have a very special message from the Christiana. Siddharth Chaurasia, you are a most intelligent and a power young man, and you will bring the change to us. Thank you, Siddharth. Thank you very much. Thank you, Christiana. Now, I would like to say here that yes, after the completion of all the goals, we have a felicitation ceremony on the 17th April also, and on the 24th April also, because now we have a more speakers compared than the previous year. We have around 250 speakers, including the students. So we have a special felicitation ceremony on 24th April also, so that we can felicitate, we can honor each and every speaker with the full of respect and with the full of enthusiasm. So please be there on the 24th April for the felicitation ceremony. Now, I would like to request technical team, please end the meeting. And before ending the meeting,
Supriya ma'am, I would
yes,
like to give
yes,
official vote of thanks.
yeah, okay, sure, dear, sure.
Thank you, Supriya ma'am. If the bee disappears from the surface of the earth, man would have no more than 4 years to live, as rightly said by Albert Einstein. Even the smallest bee can make a world of difference. Small acts, when multiplied by millions of people, can transform the world. So let's come together, join hands, and make Earth a better place to live. Now, I would like to give an official vote of thanks. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty for giving us an opportunity to organize such an event to bring the year to a wonderful conclusion. I would like to thank our special guests for today to grace this occasion with their benign presence. Thank you for your gracious presence. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all the principal speakers, beloved students, for participating and enlightening us with their knowledge. I would also like to express my deep sense of appreciation to the dedication of all amazing speakers and leaders. Thank you for your unstinted support. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Namrita. Actually, whenever you talk, whenever you speak, means it's a really a great feeling to listen you. Thank you,
so
dear.
much,
Thank
ma'am.
you
Thank
very
you.
much
It means
for
a
your
lot. It means
wonderful
a lot.
connection.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear. Thank you very much. Tomorrow we will meet with the goal 16, which is peace, justice, and the strong institutions. And yes, we have a very renowned universities to be available for the goal 16, to be associated for the goal 16. We have the collaboration with the Mahatma Gandhi Central University, Bihar, which is a very renowned university affiliated by the government of India and the UGC. And other university is National Institute of Law University, Bhopal. So there are two government universities along with the Sanjeevani World Schools are going to represent the 16th goal, peace, justice, and strong institutions, in the collaboration of the Witty Gossip Association. So be with us on the day 16 also. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you, dear Namrita. Thank you, Sanjeevani World School. Thank you, Haripriya Sahu ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you, Tiana. Thank you, Christiana. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, all speakers. Thank you, Siddharth. Thank you, Srishti. Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you, Dr. Parul Sharda, for making this session a grand success. Thank you very much. So I would like to request technical team, please end this meeting. Thank you.